here for you guys today. How's everyone doing?
I'm great. Had a great weekend.
Okay, so I want us to start this Sunday with some gossip. So
Okay.
last night, Karuchi Tran, Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend, did an interview. She
Mm-hmm.
did a sit-down interview with life coach Iana, I think that's how you
Mm-hmm.
say her
Yeah.
name, on the OWN network, where she talked about her relationship with Chris Brown. She is a model and an actress. And I think it was a very good interview because she discussed a lot of things that women go through nowadays. So it's good to see her do it. She's very brave for getting
Mm-hmm.
up there and publicly talking about her relationship like that. And they went through the whole breakup and how he's now a father. And she pretty much admitted to finding out through social media that he was a father. It's not like
Yeah.
they had a private conversation prior to it. So it's interesting that that's how she found out something after being with him for 4 years. What do you girls think about sitting down and doing an interview on
Hmm.
national TV about your breakup? What do you guys think about
I
that?
think she's very bold and she's handling the situation well because she's not being bitter about it. I feel like it was the right thing to do where she's not sounding bitter because she'll only make herself look bad. It's not like he's going to go back to her like she should go back to him. She's overcoming the situation. She makes her look better, you know?
Yeah, I just don't like how people
Absolutely.
are trying to make downplay her, or try to, take the interview and make it something negative. Like it's very hard to talk about a breakup with just your friends and your family, let alone to go public and speak to someone, especially the way that, Ayanla was speaking to her. It's like you wouldn't appreciate someone speaking to you like that if you found out, your relationship ended on social media and now you have to discuss it with the world. I just don't think that was right.
I feel like as a public figure, she kind of is going to do that, talk about it to the world. The interview, okay, I understand that, but the way how the interview was handled, where she
Ew.
was attacking her with the questions and making her the victim almost, instead of
I
just not.
disagree. I don't think she was attacking her at all. I think she was asking her honest questions, and she kept saying, "I'm human." And you see that a lot with women when you make these decisions. You always say, "I'm human," and you just try to make it smaller than what it really is.
So
And
under the
one thing
bus.
that she went through in the interview was she talked about her childhood. She asked her specific questions about the role of her father in her life. And I think that's very important. So I think some of the points in the interview that Yana was making were very important for women to listen to, women and men, anyone who goes through these breakups. And I think they were very good questions. Like, even if she tried to say, "I'm human," I no, the truth is these were mistakes that you made that you shouldn't have made. And now it's good that you're getting up here and you're very relatable to other women and they can see that too.
See, I
Mhm.
understand that point, but my whole thing was the whole purpose of the interview was not to go into her history or her background, her relationship with her father. It was to discuss the breakup with Chris Brown and how she found out about the baby. Now, I understand that as a woman, or, with all these issues that are going on, it is, right to talk about a woman's past and see if maybe that might be the cause of why she's dealing with situations like that. But that's not why she came on to do that interview, and that's a little bit personal. Like, that's not something that you are going to, freely discuss with the world if you weren't already, prepared to deal with something like that. Like, I'm not talking about my personal family. If you ask, you're calling me for an interview about something else. It's a little disrespectful.
I just think that Karuchi Tran has been someone who, ever since she's been in the spotlight with Chris Brown, she's been humiliated. I mean,
Yeah,
he was openly dating her and Rihanna at the same time, and I mean, privately, I feel like that must have been hard enough, but to have that all out in the open, and then to find out that your boyfriend of so many years had a baby with someone that you knew and were photographed with and were kind of okay friends with, it's really heartbreaking and it's sad.
it is.
Really
I
brave
feel bad for
that
her.
interview.
I
Mhm.
think she totally handled it really well. I think she, was classy about it. I mean, to find out anything about your ex via social media, that sucks for anybody. Like we all know that.
And
Yeah,
everybody
pretty
makes
much.
Classy
mistakes,
about
but it's
it.
like beating the girl up isn't going to change the fact of what she did. She's already trying to deal with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll agree to disagree on that one because I don't think she was beating her up. But the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is Raven Simone. So she was on Empire, and she's been doing interviews. And a couple weeks ago, she discussed about the Univision anchor who said that Michelle Obama looks like an ape. I'm sure you guys heard about that. He was fired and later apologized about what he said. And she said this, she defended him pretty much. She said, well, we all look like animals, don't we? I look like a bird. Is it really a big deal to say that? That's one thing that she said. The other thing I want to talk about, too, is that she said, thank you to, she was doing an interview for E! And she said, thank you to Ancestry.com for sending me my DNA test. I am from every continent in Africa except for one. And I'll leave it there for that statement.
It's like I was with her. Go on.
I'm not with her. You don't disrespect the First Lady. It doesn't matter.
No. Not with that. I'm not with about that.
Yeah, she has about 80% approval rate right now. So it's like, if you're not a comedian, if this is not what you do, don't make fun of the First Lady. Respect her, especially when you're on national TV. The other thing is, Africa is a continent.
Not
what I'm talking about, Raven.
That's what I'm saying, Candy. I was with her when her first interview she was getting a lot of controversy about saying how she's not she's not African American. I was with her that because she has her own opinion. But I'm not with her when she's saying that the First Lady looks like an ape, or when and I definitely was not with her after she messed up the terminology and called said Africa was made up of continents when it's made up of countries. So that's when I just lost her, and I'm like, okay, I'm not really going to listen to what she's saying anymore.
Before she speaks.
Take her seriously. I just figured she slipped up. Like, I don't know if she was nervous. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about people disrespecting the First Family. I mean, from President Obama to his children to his wife, it's like he's the president, they're the First Family. Watch your mouth, respect yourself, and calm down. But I mean, that whole continent thing. Girl, go look at a globe and come back and rethink yourself.
She seemed so opinionated, like she was educated. She knew exactly what she was talking about. And maybe she slipped up, right? But as a public figure, where you're supposed to do interviews and prepare for these interviews and actually know that you're going, and you're supposed to say what you mean. She said that Africa was made up of continents, and she was with a serious face. Exactly. Who's going to believe anything else you say, or how you have people behind you when you're messing up something so simple as that?
I feel like I'm hard scratching my head a little bit.
My issue was not really that she messed that up. It's just that she's going on these interviews and she's doing these talk shows and she's just coming up with, like, really, you really think it's okay to say the First Lady looks like an ape? And then you're going to go on a show and say Africa is, like, it's just too much.
It's several continents.
She needs to take a break for some time.
Yeah.
So my question to Raven Simone would be then, what do you call the rest of the continents? Are they named differently in your universe, or?
She just needs to, I think, think more before she.
What do you think?
Right.
Yeah, we all descended from apes, but she should explain herself a little bit more, so as to not sound disrespectful, because that's what she came off sounding like.
I don't think she meant it disrespectful. I don't think so either.
I don't think so either. She needs to explain herself a little more, you know.
She's trying too hard.
Yeah.
I think some people should just educate themselves more before they actually give their opinion, or as a fact in the interview. I don't think she did that. I feel like she was just talking.
Yeah.
When she said that. Yeah.